Well, Kelly Johnson will lead things off for Atlanta this afternoon. Johnson did not start in game 1 of this 3-game series. As play begins today, the Phillies are half a game behind the Florida Marlins and the New York Mets, who lead the division. Meanwhile, the Braves are 2.5 games back. What a logjam. Even the Washington Nationals are just 5.5 off the pace in the East. Saw Johnson's numbers: 3 homers, 10 RBIs in the first pitch of the day. Fastball out of the strike zone, so we're underway in the count 1-0.
Everybody's just kind of hanging around right now, except for the Mets. They're on a good run of 6 in a row. And Washington's played a lot better lately.
On the outside corner, a strike to Kelly Johnson. Brett Myers, now 28 years old, making his 7th start of the year. Lifetime, he's 4-9 against the Braves. And that one's off the end of the bat. A flare over the head of Jimmy Rollins and a base hit. So Kelly Johnson's aboard to begin the top of the first inning. Myers has had issues in the first and second innings of ball games, although last time out against the St. Louis Cardinals, he pitched scoreless baseball in the first 2 innings. But throughout the course of this season, he has struggled with the long ball in the first 2 innings. In fact, the first inning, the opposition hitting over 300 with a couple home runs. In the second inning, they're hitting over 260 with 3 home runs. There's Yunel Escobar, who bunts the first pitch foul.
Today is a much more of a pitcher friendly day here in this ballpark. Anytime it gets cool and the wind blows out of the northwest the way that it is, it knocks the ball down a little bit towards left and left center. It'll help it towards right. And there you see the wind out of the northwest and the flags blowing towards the right field corner.
The temperature difference is about 20 degrees from yesterday, as that one's on the outside corner to Escobar, and it's 0-2. See Escobar using that pink bat. A number of the players today will be using the pink bat at the plate, and those bats will be auctioned off afterward for the proceeds to benefit the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Research Center. And it's all part of the Mother's Day celebration here in baseball. Some of the players wearing the pink wristbands, like Yunel Escobar. In fact, almost every one of the players have a pink wristband, and they have the pink ribbon on their chest as well. 0-2 pitch. And that hit Yunel Escobar. And the Braves are going to have runners on first and second. That one just came up into his kitchen. And he just couldn't get out of the way because he's a diver anyway, and the ball kept on slicing in.
Well, diver's a point. So many guys dive nowadays because they don't get pitched inside all that much. He has an elbow pad on there too, and see if it hits it. Oh,
that hit the bat.
Well, it looks like it did.
That may have hit the bat. That hit the bat, Wills.
Sure looks like it when you see that replay, but nobody complained.
No, nobody at all.
You know, you think you'd heard the sound down there. Certainly Carlos Ruiz and Brett Myers would look like it scared him more than anything.
The Braves now with runners on first and second. Chipper Jones is the batter. Jones hitting .294 with 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, and he's ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, that ball hits the bat toward the top, right on the barrel. Curve ball in there for a strike. It's 1-1.
I don't know when it hits it that, as it looks like on that replay, it hits it that solidly. It's amazing that nobody did anything down there or reacted.
See Chipper with a .364 batting average against Myers. He and Brian McCann.
You know, it's hard for a manager to argue on a play like that when the
players don't. Right.
Yeah, a lot of times the managers, they go off what the players do. You know, their first reaction may be to run out there, and then the player will tell them, no, hold it. You know.
Well, the other thing too is that how James Hoy, the home plate umpire, didn't see it unless he flinched away. Phillies look to turn 2. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Chipper is riding a 29-game hitting streak against the Phillies. It's the longest hitting streak against the Phillies since 1931, when the Giants' Fred Lindstrom hit 30 straight. And that's on the outside corner, a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, according to James Hoy. And it's 3-2.
Chipper's had 2 pitches in this at bat that he thought both of them were outside.
There's Bobby Cox, who won career victory number 2,341 yesterday. Runners don't go. Outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So not a good start for Brett Myers here at the top of the first inning.
Yeah, right out of the chute, he's got to go into damage control. They'll play the infield at double play depth and try to get 2 outs for a run.
Well, the starting staff has really been the big issue for the Phillies this year. They average just 5 1/3 innings per ball game, which is way too low.
Way too low.
And the opposition is hitting .310 against them. Garrett Anderson takes the first one inside. It's 1-0.
Well, we talked in the opening about momentum in baseball. And momentum in baseball is how good your starter is that day, period. Because that's how you build up momentum in this sport, is your starting pitching keeps you in games and you go on winning streaks.
Fastball low, 2-0. See, Brett's velocity is not bad. It's at 91-92. There's Joe Blanton, who went 8 innings yesterday. But he allowed 6 runs. In fact, he allowed 2 2-run home runs. The big at bat yesterday for Joe Blanton, Wheels, was a double by Javier Vasquez with 1 out in the 5th inning.
Yep. No doubt about it.
He was ahead 2 strikes, and then Kelly Johnson followed with a double, and then the 2-run home run by Yanel Escobar, and all of a sudden the Braves are on top 4-1.
The Phillies had just tied the game, too, and that's one of those times when you want your pitcher to go out and get a shutdown inning because you just had some momentum on your side.
2-1 pitch. Hit in the air, straight away center field. The wind is going to kick it back over toward the gap. Johnson tags from third. Shane Victorino makes the grab. It's going to be a sac fly for Garrett Anderson, and the Braves are going to jump out to a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, but that's a real good out for Brett Myers because nobody advanced except the guy from third who scores. Because normally, as well as that ball was hit, if the wind didn't knock it down, certainly Escobar could have tagged from second and gotten into third base with less than 2 outs, but the wind knocked it down.
Well, Brian McCann has certainly been a problem for Phillies pitching. Yesterday, a 2-run towering home run on a curveball.
2 years ago, when they came in here and opened the season and swept the Phillies, he popped some home runs, one of them off Brett Myers. So, you know, he just kills the Phillies, especially here.
He's got 2 home runs lifetime against Myers.
See what he does with that pink bat.
But maybe it'll change everybody's luck.
Some guys hit with them, some guys don't. You know, it's the same bat.
7 for 18 against the Phillies this year. I think he has 6 hits against everybody else.
Yeah.
0-2 the count.
A few years ago, Bill Hall won a game in Milwaukee on a walk-off home run with a pink bat.
With his mom in attendance.
With his mom in attendance, yeah.
There's Casey Kochman on the on-deck circle. He, too, is going to swing a pink bat today. On the inside corner, called strike 3.
Boy, he ran that fastball back. That the old Greg Maddux type fastball. Bobby Cox, I think, is barking at James Hoy because Hoy just looked over towards the dugout. But that pitch looked like it had the plate. Let's just see. Yeah, that's a strike. Well, it's close. Maybe he didn't catch the inside corner, but he's really getting yelled at right now is Hoy.
Well, it's probably the 2 pitches that he called a ball at Chipper Jones that sort of was the foundation.
Yeah. That got it started.
Casey Kochman, the batter, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike. Kochman hitting .298 with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. Acquired last year by the Braves for Mark Teixeira. It's turned out to be an okay trade for the Braves because Kochman is going to be their first baseman for a long time.
Well, this guy is a very good first baseman, too. So is Teixeira. Teixeira is a gold glove type first baseman, and Kochman can really catch the ball. There he is, 1 for 8 so far off Myers.
One and 2 the count to Kochman. Last year, Casey Kochman, when he was with the Angels, had 12 home runs and hit 287. Then he came over to the Braves and he hit just 2 home runs. One was against the Phillies and had a 237 batting average.
Well, that's a huge ballpark. When you play in Atlanta and you hit them to right and right center, it's like hitting them in Florida. They're long ones.
1-2 the count to Kochman. 2-2. Long inning for Brett Myers. He's allowed a run. He's thrown 24 pitches.
And he's one pitch from getting out of it without a lot of damage being done. And that's where he really needs to bear down. And that's what he's trying to do right now. Get that final out.
And he's going to get the final out. A roller to Chase Utley. Waits for Ryan Howard. The inning is over. So the Braves load up the bases with nobody out. They get only one. They strand 2. Middle of the first. It's Atlanta 1 and the Phillies coming up. For Charlie Manuel, today's starting lineup is brought to you by Budweiser. Jimmy Rollins leads it off at shortstop. Shane Victorino, the center fielder, bats second. Chase Utley, the second baseman, hits third. Ryan Howard's over at first base batting cleanup. Raul Ibanez is in the number 5 spot playing left field. Matt Stairs gets the start today for Jason Worth, his second of the year. He'll bat 6th. Pedro Feliz is the third base hitting 7th. Carlos Ruiz, the catcher, bats 8th. And Brett Myers is on the mound, and he bats 9th. And they will face Kenshin Kawakami.
It's their first look at him. His record 1-4. You see his earned run average. He pitched okay for the Braves this year. He had one real good game. See, right-handed hitters hitting .321 off the 34-year, soon-to-be 35-year-old Japanese right-hander. Our Southwest Airlines scouting report on him. He throws a sinking fastball, curve, and a changeup. 6-time All-Star in Japan. Reports on him. He'll throw sinkers down, breaking balls down. Sometimes when he gets 2 strikes, likes to throw a high fastball, an intentional high fastball, to see if they'll chase.
He'll face Jimmy Rollins to start things off. Jimmy hitting .203, a home run and 9 RBIs on the year. He has really struggled against the Braves this season. He's just 2 for 23 against them.
Well, he just can't get it going. You know, very few multi-hit games this year. Every once in a while he'll get a hit early in the game. You think, here he goes, he's going to go off and get 2 or 3. Doesn't happen.
And Charlie and Milt Thompson have done a lot of work with him too in extra hitting. And he hits this one on the hands toward the hole at second. Nobody's covering first. Kochman did a nice job getting back up, and there's one away. He was out of the play.
Yeah, he dove for it because he thought he was going to catch it and then missed it. And he did get up quickly. I guess his thought after that was, well, I got nowhere else to go except back to the bag. There he is. He dives. He can't get it. And he saw right away that Johnson was there. That's where I belong, back in the bag. There's another look at it. His momentum, his head actually looked right over to the second baseman, so he's going to catch it.
There's Shane Victorino with one away. Takes a strike at the letters.
See how far he has to go to get back. Not that far. And got back there quickly.
0-2 the count to Victorino. Got a piece of that one into the glove of McCann.
Where a first baseman gets in trouble in that play is when their momentum, they're still on their feet and they're moving towards second base after they don't make the play. In that case, he dove for it, so all he had to do was pop back up and run back.
Curveball loop towards center field. Schaefer on the run, and he's there. And it's 2 away now for the Phillies. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. And it'll bring Chase Utley to the plate. Kawakami won 112 games while over in Japan. He is the first Japanese-born player in Atlanta Braves history. And they've signed him through the 2011 season. So despite his struggles, they got him for a couple more years. He'll face Chase Utley for the first time.
Well, they were trying to rebuild their rotation during the offseason with healthy pitchers. They've had a lot of problems with their starters breaking down the last few years.
Yeah, Tom Glavine keeps having to shut himself down in his rehab starts. This last time, not because of the way he was pitching, but he was sore from swinging the bat. Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Michelle Duplicki from Brookhaven, PA. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's game, then Michelle will win $100. Introducing McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, a new line of lattes, mochas, and cappuccinos. And Michelle is in good territory because the Phillies have homered in 23 of 29 games this year.
Well, you look at that rotation they had, and you thought, oh no, they're going to be tremendous with Hudson, Smoltz, Glavine, those kind of guys. They all broke down. And I think they got to the point where they just couldn't count on guys anymore, so they had to bring in some healthy arms.
Well, Tim Hudson is rehabbing himself. He's with the ball club right now, sitting there talking to Derek Lowe on the bench for the Braves.
One of the healthy arms they brought in, Derek Lowe, along with a guy yesterday, Vasquez, and this guy, Kawakami. There's Derek Lowe, who started opening night here, pitched very well. They gave him a 4-year deal.
Two and one the count to Chase Utley here in the bottom of the first inning. And he hits that one to the air to right field. Francoeur is there, and he makes the one-handed catch, and the inning is over. So the Phillies go down in order here in the bottom of the first inning. We've played one. Braves lead at 1-0. The 2009 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Graham Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Jeff Francoeur is going to lead things off. First, though, he needs the go-ahead from James Hoy, the home plate umpire.
Well, they got the clock out there at second base. Jerry Meals is running the stopwatch. He tells him, okay, we can start.
Francoeur riding a 10-game hitting streak. And Myers starts him off with a hook, and it's in there for a strike. Yesterday, Joe Blanton started him off with a first pitch fastball, and he dented the wall in left field.
Well, he normally swings at the first pitch. So he threw him a first ball breaking ball, did Myers, and he took it.
See what Francoeur's done against Brett during his career. It's that one toward the hole at shortstop. Backhanded stab by Rollins. His throw a little high, but there's the big Ryan Howard able to pull it down, and there's one away.
The thing about Jimmy is he does not take his offensive problems to the shortstop position, and he gets a great move on this. Watch how he backhands it, plants, and throws. He actually had a stutter step a little bit there before he could throw it, but he has such a strong arm, and he can flip the ball. He and Reyes are unbelievable the way they do it. Reyes better than anybody I've ever seen, but Jimmy also can just flip the ball. Reyes throws it from his ear like a catcher almost and gets so much on it. It's amazing.
It's the kind of, for an infielder, it's the way they told you not to do it when you were a kid.
Yeah, sure, because you got to get a little on top of your throw and wind up a little bit more than those guys do. But it's a great gift that they have, and Jimmy is also able to flip the ball and get a lot of velocity on it.
2-0 the count to Jordan Schaefer, the number 8 batter.
It's something you don't teach. It's just you either can do it or you can't.
Brett Myers allowed a home run to Jordan Schaefer in his first major league at bat back on opening day. That's it, just to the left of the 409 sign in center. And he drops that one in for a strike. It's 3-1. Schaefer swings 3-1, and he pops it up. Infielders are fighting the sun and the wind. Watch Rollins track it. He makes the catch. What a play. Wow. He started over toward the hole at shortstop, and the wind just carried it in front of second base.
That's what we talked about last inning. The wind is really blowing in hard from left field, and it's going to affect play. Look, Utley there. Well, I had you, Jimmy. Well, in a way, I'm glad you caught it.
No, he was saying, Jimmy, your position's over here. This is my position.
It's unbelievable. Here's where he starts out. Now, of course, he's fighting the sun and the wind here. And Utley was there just in case.
2 away for Kawakami, who's got 2 hits and 9 at bats this year. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
That'll give you an idea of how it can help the pitchers now when balls hit the left and left center today. They will get knocked down. A line drive home run, it won't matter. But high balls hit high in the air, the wind's going to affect it.
Kawakami lines it to center field, and he's going to have a base hit. His 3rd hit of the year, so he's aboard with 2 outs. Now that's the 2nd hit of the game for the Braves. Hey, fans, there are still various plans to choose from as far as Phillies season tickets go. The sale ends on May 12th, which is Tuesday. You can call 215-463-5000 or log on to Phillies.com. You get postseason ticket access. There's the 12-game partial plan, and also the Sunday plans that are still available as well. It feels the sale ends on May 12th.
Get after it. Like Kawakami got after that high fat. Pitchers love high fast balls because they're not good hitters. Good hitters hit the ball down in the strike zone. Pitchers just love that thing sitting up there, and Myers just made a careless pitch to Kawakami, and bang, base hit to center field.
Kelly Johnson singled his first time up, scored a run, and he's hit by a pitch. Now that's technically the 2nd batter that's been hit today. Yunel Escobar, who's up now, was hit by a pitch, but after replays, so we looked at the replays, we saw the ball hit the bat and not anything in his, it didn't hit his hand or his shoulder or anything like that.
Well, Myers is, as you say, as Tom says, has hit 2 guys, or he hasn't hit 2, but I think what he's trying to do, and you have to give him credit for it, is pitch inside. Because if you don't pitch inside, you don't have much of a chance to win at this level. And he's trying to move their feet a little bit, but you don't want to hit them.
He gets Escobar out in front of that first pitch, so it's 0-1.
Now that's a good pitch to throw to a guy that he gave a little chin music to last time. Throw him a breaking ball in the first pitch, because he's up there thinking, I'm going to show this guy, I'm going to hit breaking ball. miss it by a foot.
Another breaking ball. That one misses outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Escobar with a .529 average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, and he's got one at second right now. In fact, he's got runners on first and second.
Brad Hopp leads in that category.
The other guy is Ryan Braun, who's really having a good start to the season. Victorino didn't see it at first, but he puts it away. Braves strand 2 here in the top of the second inning. They've stranded 4 through the first 2 against Myers. They lead at 1-0. Legend of the Seeker. That's tonight at 8, followed by Law & Order SVU tonight on MyPHL 17. Oh, a sold out crowd here on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Hope you're enjoying your day. Hope everybody made you breakfast in bed this morning too.
Did you do that?
I did not. I was out very early this morning, but I heard that there was an attempt at breakfast in bed. And then about an hour later, Meg went downstairs, my wife, and said, "Where's my breakfast?" And they said, "Oh, we just figured you didn't want it, so we stopped."
That's a great excuse for we can't get it done.
Yeah, well, that could have been it too. Kenshin Kawakama will face Ryan Howard here in the bottom of the second inning.
Many times it's the thought that matters.
That's exactly what I said.
And when in doubt, always try to make it seem that way.
Ryan with 6 homers and 22 RBIs, hitting .279 on the season. Kawakami used just 9 pitches in the first inning. Get the first 3 batters out.
Threw a lot of junk too. The way the Phillies hitters see a lot of that stuff.
Sure, Ryan Howard's going to see a lot of junk after that fastball. And it's 1-0. They've got 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. And Ryan has enjoyed hitting against the Braves here at Citizens Bank Park and at Turner Field. 24 lifetime home runs against them. And way out in front of a changeup, and it's 1-1.
Not surprised to see Pat Burrell on that list.
The all-star ballots are out at the ballpark. See, somebody just picked Placido Polanco as the only vote in the American League.
I got to get a few more guys.
1-2 the count. He was here for a short period of time, Polanco, but these fans loved him.
Oh, he could hit. Placido got a lot of big hits too.
Two and two.
Kawakami, like a lot of the Japanese pitchers, has that little hesitation in his delivery. You see his hands come up, he kind of pauses, and then you know, he can be a little bit funky, I would think, for a hitter with all that off-speed stuff, because he kind of jumps at him. There's that little pause at the top, and now he comes real quick.
Ryan Howard hits one off the end of the bat. It's a foul ball that's going to drop before the warning track. Well, back in 2006 on May 14th, Mother's Day, Ryan Howard not feeling too good before the start of the ball game. Well, as that game went on, he felt real good.
Yeah, he got a pinch hit home run to tie that game, and then he stayed in the lineup, and then he hit a long home run to dead center field. He hit them both off left-handed pitchers that day, so he felt a lot better.
He sure did.
It was Clausen and Hammond were the two left-handers.
3-2 to Ryan Howard.
That's the first time we've seen Kawakami move somebody's feet. Doesn't pitch inside a whole lot, evidently.
Raul Ibanez waits on deck. And Ryan hits one in the air to right field. It's pretty deep. It's going to drop in play, and it's going to take a hop toward the base of the wall. Howard's going to get at least 2 on that one as Francoeur's throw comes in. It's a stand-up double, his 8th of the year. And the Phillies have a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Well, he fooled him a little bit with a slow curveball, but it hung, and Ryan stayed back just enough to make contact, and the wind really picked it up towards that corner. Francoeur had no shot to catch up to it. Watch, it's a hanging breaking ball here, and you see he gets out front, and then he's so strong, he's still able to just one-hand it. One hop off the wall.
So he's on second now for Ibanez. Raul still along the top 10 in hitting in the National League at .339. And he's ahead 1 ball and no strikes.
Kawakami starts him with a fastball away first pitch to try and make him hit it towards the third baseman or the shortstop. Make it tougher to turn it over and get the runner over.
The foul ball evens the count at 1-1. Ibanez hitting .397 here at Citizens Bank Park, which is the 3rd best home batting average in the National League. See Kawakami in the 1st inning. He kind of befuddles the hitters, but then after that his ERA jumps nearly 6 points.
Well, that's after they get a look at him. Maybe try to figure him out a little bit.
Ibanez pops it up over towards shortstop. Escobar battling the wind, and there's one away. Well, the Dodgers come to town beginning this Tuesday, May 12th. It's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night, and there's just standing room only tickets available for that ball game. And then Wednesday at 7:05, limited seats available. Thursday, a Citizens Bank Business Person Special and a Modell Sporting Goods Senior Stroll the Bases afterward. You can log on to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. Dodgers, despite the fact they lost Manny Ramirez, still lead the West 5.5 games ahead of the Giants, who are 1 game over 500.
They're 1-2 since Ramirez's 50-game suspension started.
Yeah, they won yesterday against San Francisco. Matt Stairs takes a pitch low. Stairs is playing right field today for Jason Worth. Now, Charlie Manuel said that he was thinking about giving Worth off today anyway, but Jason ran into the window down the right field line trying to track down a ball yesterday, and also went sliding into the warning track yesterday, and he's been hit by a couple pitches of late. So he probably needed today off with the off day tomorrow.
Charlie said it was a perfect day to there's the window down there with that is Mike Bookholder's hideaway, and here's what happened. Ooh.
He hit it pretty hard.
Yeah, he had his bell rung there. That's where the ground crew, head of the Phillies ground crew's office is. Probably woke him up when he hit that window.
It did. He stirred after after Jason came crashing in.
What was that?
There's that office. There's a lot of stuff on the wall, it looks like. Or on the shelves.
Somebody might have gotten knocked down yesterday.
Ball 4. Stairs draws the walk, and the Phillies have 2 runners on here in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
And that was a good at bat by Matty. Ibanez had a rare antsy at bat for him. He just did not have a good approach to Kawakami to get that runner over, got himself out. In Stairs' case, everything was away from him, and he just took it.
Now the Phillies have a couple runners on for Pedro Feliz. Pedro with 18 RBIs. He's among the league leaders in batting average with runners in scoring position. And he's got one here with 1 away. And he takes one outside. It's 1-0.
See how he pitches everybody away with almost everything. The only pitch in really was that one to Ryan Howard. You see it kind of surprised Ryan too, because you sit there and watch this guy and your approach can be you can dive on him a little bit because he's only using one part of the plate.
Ball in the dirt. McCann keeps it around him. And it's 2-0. Not far enough for Ryan to advance.
Boy, that was a good play by Brian McCann.
He's gone back to the regular catcher's mask. He had worn the hockey style mask on Friday.
Job. He just sells out right there, cups his body, and just tries to block it. They don't worry about catching the ball in that situation. All they want to do is try and block it and deaden it.
Lee's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. And he hits one on the hands toward left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Howard around third. He's going to score. And the Phillies have tied this ball game up at 1 apiece here at the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Good base running by the big guy, too. Ryan Howard read that off the bat that thing was going to sink and die with the wind knocking the ball down in the outfield, and scores easily as opposed to going one bag at a time. Bobby Cox's reaction. Feliz gets jammed a little bit. That thing ran back into the middle of the plate and towards him. Now watch Ryan Howard. Takes one look at it and goes. And he had, of course, looked out there before the pitch. Saw where the outfielders were playing and knew that was a base hit and nobody could get to it. That's real good base running by him. It's just another example of how his overall game has improved this year.
So 1 away for Carlos Ruiz. And Ruiz takes a swing and a foul ball into the glove of McCann. It's 0-1. Carlos hitting 185. Still no RBIs on the season for Carlos. He's been off the last couple of days. Chris Coase has done the catching. Last 2 games, the Phillies have been able to get Coase batting average up over 200. Now, let's see if Carlos can do the same thing. He's got 2 runners on with 1 away. There's Chris. Had a double yesterday, a home run the night before. And Ruiz is down on strikes. 3 pitches, and they're 2 away. First strikeout for Kawakami. Back in 2004, Kawakami won Japan's equivalent to the Cy Young Award when he was 17-7 with a 3.32 ERA. It was the first of 2 seasons that he won 17 games. Here's Myers, and he takes a strike.
This guy throws perfect stuff for Brett Myers. Everything's away. Brett hits everything to the right of second base, and they are playing him way over to right center.
Yeah, if he pulls one to the gap in left center, the Phillies are going to get a couple of runs. At least you think they would.
He pulls one, half the dugout will faint. He does not pull the ball very often. His hits are almost always to the right of second base.
Little bailage.
It's called bat speed. But he gives, I'll tell you what, I think he gives really good at bats up there. He fouls a lot of pitches off.
Looked like he was opening up on that one. It's 1-2.
He's not going to hit it through the wind today. He almost hit his first major league home run this year, and of course it was to right field. But Brett really battles up there and fouls pitches off and makes the opposition pitcher work. Now, right there, he's not going to do anything with that pitch. But as I mentioned, pitchers love high fastballs.
That one gets away from McCann, and that will allow the runners to advance. There'll be a wild pitch charged to Kawakami. And the Phillies now have 2 runners in scoring position. Stairs to third, Feliz to second.
McCann got a little careless on that one. Of course, it's a fastball. It's not like you're anticipating a breaking ball in the dirt. But you can see he just reaches for it, doesn't catch it. It's not a matter of shifting as much. When a catcher calls for a breaking ball, he always has to anticipate it in the dirt. When you call for a fastball, that's not the way it is.
Myers fouls it off. Became the first pitcher in League Championship Series history with 3 hits in a game versus the Dodgers. But one of his memorable at bats was the one against CC Sabathia in the divisional series.
Just a great at bat. See, here he goes. That's my point. Here he goes again. Brett hardly ever has an at bat where he doesn't foul a few pitches off and makes the other guy throw some pitches. It's like I said, he's like Zorro up there. The way he moves the bat around, he fights off stuff. It's like a sword fighter.
7th pitch of the at bat coming here. And all the Atlanta Braves thought that was strike 3, and it's instead 3-2. Probably hasn't said anything yet.
He just got his head cocked.
3-2 the count to Myers. Crowd gets behind him here. And a swing and a miss, and he's down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kawakami. The Phils get one on the RBI single by Feliz, so we're all even as we go to the 3rd. There is Scott going out to around home plate, and he's giving a bouquet of roses to his mom, Peggy Jo, who is here in town as part of the celebration of Mother's Day. Each and every year, the Phillies bring in one of the players' moms, and Peggy Jo's been nice enough to join us up here in the booth. And nice surprise that you're able to come here this weekend and spend the weekend with Scott.
Yeah, it's been nice. Nice surprise.
Well, and we've said before we came on, he is one of the loosest guys out there. Has he always been that loose?
Yeah, he has.
Has he?
Yeah. Just a jokester.
Is that from you?
Probably not.
No. Well, I know he was excited about today and also about this weekend as well. And it's turned out to be a beautiful day here at the ballpark. Phillies have tied it 1-1 as we go to the top half of the 3rd inning. And Chipper Jones is going to lead things off. He walked his first time up. And he takes a strike. Now, Peggy Jo is not only the mom of one Major League pitcher, she's the mom of 2 Major League pitchers, because Scott's brother Willie plays for the Texas Rangers. He's on the disabled list right now, and boy, it must be kind of neat to be able to follow these guys all around the place to see their Major League careers evolve.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's hard to figure out which game to watch sometimes. Kind of switch back and forth and get confused.
Here's the 1-1 to Jones.
They have the natural competition among brothers when they were kids.
Oh, yes. Yes. Scott usually won, though, because he was a lot older.
He makes us laugh, though. There's just something about him. He always has that twinkle in his eye like he's 2 steps ahead of you. Was he that way as a kid?
Yeah, pretty much. Just a happy kid.
Well, we because he's a left-hander, they're a little goofy anyway. But, you know, there's just something about him. He's just fun to be around.
3-1 pitch to Jones. And he pulls that one to Chase Utley. And it's going to be an easy play. 1 away here at the top of the 3rd inning. All right, let me ask you how you found out that you were going to be the mom. Did Scott call you and tell you that you were going to be coming into town?
Yeah, Scott called.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So he just called and said, well, we have this contest, and I won. I never win anything, but I won. So.
Well, and you mentioned, too, that it's tough to always figure out which games to watch. I mean, you know, both are pitchers. So I guess you have to switch back and forth.
Yeah, because they never come into the middle of the game, so.
Line shot over the glove of Chase Utley, so a base hit for Garrett Anderson. Now, what's Willie doing now? Is he on the disabled list now?
He is. He's coming along good. He said they're bringing him along slowly.
Yeah.
So.
Did you think that the two of them had a chance ever to play professional baseball when they were kids? I mean, I don't know if any mom does, but did you?
Yeah.
What was it about them that you thought they had a chance?
I don't know. With Scott, he was practically born with a bat in his hand and ball. He could swing a bat before he could walk. And then Willie's just such a natural athlete. He could play any sport he tried. So it was just a given.
Yeah. Here's Brian McCann with one out in the third. And McCann hits one fouled on the first base line.
Hey, what was it like for you last year to watch one of your sons become a part of a World Series champion? I know Scott had been World Series before, but what was that like?
It was awesome. This was a lot more fun being on this end of it.
Yeah.
I just cried a little.
Yeah, he was, of course, on the losing end when he was with the Giants, right?
Did you cry then?
No.
McCann smokes one foul down the right field line. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Braves catcher.
Well, he got a nice piece of jewelry to show you, that's for sure.
Yeah, he did. Saw it yesterday.
Did you get a chance to come out to any of the games during the World Series in the playoffs?
I was to all the games here in Tampa.
Okay.
So I went to one game at Dodger Stadium.
1-2 is inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. What is it like? I mean, Scott's been, he's obviously a veteran. He's been around. What's it like to have the ebbs and the flows of a baseball career? To be on the other end of the phone for some of those conversations.
It's hard sometimes. I don't talk to him about baseball a lot because I'd rather kind of not talk about it sometimes.
Base hit by McCann puts runners on first and second.
It's one of the toughest things for players having to relocate. It's not for you, but just to watch them have to go through picking up and having to move on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a good thing he's got a good wife.
Yeah, absolutely. Casey Kochman is 0 for 1. He grounded out to second his only time up. So now the Braves have something cooking here with runners on first and second and 1 away here in the top of the third inning. Kochman takes one outside. It's 1-0. Now, were you a baseball fan while they were growing up? Or did you just learn to love the game because they were playing it so much?
No, I've always liked baseball. My dad and my grandpas used to listen to Dodgers and Angels all the time. So they always had transistor radios to their ears.
Now, I read a story that Willie's middle name is Mays. Is that true?
Yeah.
Now, how did that happen? You're a Dodger fan, and you named him after the greatest Giant of all time?
Well, Willie Mays is good. We couldn't really figure out a middle name for him, and we kept throwing some out. And his dad, threw this one out, and we just laughed about it. And next thing I knew, that's what I put on the paper.
I thought it was great. I read the story where Scott said he told Willie Mays one time, and Willie said, "Weren't you a Dodgers fan growing up?"
that doesn't really fit.
3-1 the count to Casey Kochman with 1 out here in the top of the third inning. All right, now tell us about Scott growing up. He played all other sports. It wasn't just baseball.
He played a little basketball. That's probably about it. Not in high school or anything, but just like church ball and stuff like that.
Pop up to center field. Victorino battling the wind and the sun, and they're 2 away. Kochman was ahead 3-1, and I'm not sure if his mom would be happy about that right there.
It's a nasty way to treat that pink bat.
Yeah.
Well, he thinks he had a pitch to hit. That's why he's upset.
All right, so who was the better hitter, Scott or Willie?
That's kind of a toss-up.
Really?
I think once in high school, Scott won a home run in one of the tournaments they played in. Won got the most home runs, but it was kind of a toss-up.
We don't want to bring that up. We'll never hear the end of it. Bring that up, Joey. Did you really win? Yeah, didn't I ever tell you about that? You want to talk about it.
Well, because all pitchers want to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and they were all great hitters when they were kids, too.
1-1 the count to Jeff Francoeur. Now, what was Scott like growing up? I mean, is there anything that you can tell us that he wouldn't tell us that he would do when he was growing up? I mean, he is, as we'll say, he's a little goofy. He's funny.
Yeah. No, he's just a normal kid.
Really?
He just played baseball all the time. They'd go out front with wiffle balls and bats. And just what he did.
Kept him out of trouble, huh?
Yeah, did.
That's got as not being a parent, but Tom, as you having 4 children, I'm sure that it's very important to have diversions to keep them out of trouble.
Yeah, how many windows did they break? Because I'm having a window problem at my house.
Actually, I don't think they broke any.
Because if you can give me a good glass person, that'd be great. 2-2 the count to Francoeur. And it's not just the front windows, it's the shed windows and the basement windows. That didn't happen for you?
I was lucky.
Yeah, I guess you were. Myers has the count 2-2 to Francoeur. Grounded out to short his first time up.
Brett's all the way up to 62 pitches, so we may see Scott Air in this ball game today on Mother's Day.
Now, I watch my boys play, and I watch one of them pitch all the time, and it kills my stomach. How's your stomach?
I get a little antsy.
You do?
I can't sit.
Yeah.
It's hard to sit.
I have the same problem. I walk all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, Peggy Jo, we appreciate you joining us. All right.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
the rest of your Mother's Day.
Okay.
Peggy Jo Air, our guest up here. We're through 2.5. It's a 1-1 game. And this past Friday, it's the largest 3 days of attendance in the history of this ballpark.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
Finding new areas to put people in this yard.
Absolutely. In fact, standing room only tickets were available today. And on Tuesday, when the Dodgers come to town, there are standing room only tickets available. There's Jimmy Rollins, who takes one at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. And when you woke up today, temperatures were in the 50s. That's not what they were on the golf course yesterday for you.
Oh, no, it was a little hotter yesterday.
Yeah. But still, it's a gorgeous afternoon.
The holes have played different today. The wind changed.
It would probably be helpful for you.
On certain holes and not on others. Just like yesterday.
Well, T-shirts, sweatshirts, shorts, long pants. Everything is in vogue today. Jeff Francoeur is there, and there's one away.
There's another guy jumping at a changeup. Jimmy Rollins off balance at a slow pitch from Kawakami.
Well, it's time now for the Dodge Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com, go to the fan forum section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, which Braves coach helped turn a triple play against the Phillies on July 15th, 1978 in his second major league game?
I know that one.
The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
Finally.
Here's Shea Victorino. So you don't have to look that one up?
No. Some of those questions, I remember that game. Some of those questions are hard.
Well, they're not made to be easy, Wheels. We want to make sure people really research these competitions.
No, they're good questions. Whoever makes them up, they're challenging.
Victorino, a couple of hops to second, and they're 2 away.
I understand John DeSangro makes those up.
John is our associate producer here on Phillies Television Network. Figure we have, what, 150 games? It's a lot of questions. Got to have some backups, too. 2 away for Chase Utley here in the bottom of the 3rd. Chase with 10 homers. That's second in the league to Albert Pujols. Phillies as a team have homered 42 times this year, which is tops in the National League.
Phillies making the most of an opportunity that they had. The Braves have left 6 men on already through 3 innings, and it's a 1-1 game. So as this one progresses, hopefully the Atlanta will look back on this game and think they could have put it away early. The Phillies will look back and say, hey, we held them off. Myers held them off, and we won the ball game. Because these first 3 innings have been very different for both teams.
1-1 to Utley. Yeah, Brett has thrown a lot of pitches. He's in the 60s with his pitch count already through 3 innings. Kawakami is at 44.
Well, fastball, curveball, changeup. That's his basic repertoire. Down with a sinker, up with a 4-seamer once in a while. Does not pitch inside to anybody. Maybe we said, what, 1 pitch to Ryan Howard. You know, if you're watching this game from the bench, you have to think, I can eliminate half a home plate right now with this guy.
Well, this is the closest he's been inside, really, except for that one to Howard.
Right, he threw the one tailing fastball. Right? That was a tailing fastball that he froze. It kind of froze Utley and still caught the middle of the plate.
And he gets him on strikes. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 5 in a row retired by Kawakami. He's got 3 strikeouts as we go to the 4th. Hey, fans, there's still an opportunity to purchase Phillies season tickets. You can do so until this Tuesday. You got the 12-game partial plans or the 10-game Sunday package. You can call 215-463-5000. You can call right now if you want to, or you can log on to Phillies.com right now and purchase your Phillies season tickets. You get great benefits, including postseason ticket access, and it might be the only time you get a chance to see the Mets or the Marlins games this year. Well, we played 3. Gary Matthews is settling in. He's got a hat that matches his shirt, which is always good. I'm surprised he's not wearing a pink hat today, as the players are sporting not only the pink wristbands, the pink energy bands around their neck, as Jordan Schaefer leads it off in the top of the 4th inning.
Don't look very good in pink.
Yeah, it's not about your look, Sarge. It's about, making a point.
Making Mother's Day. I mean, happy Mother's Day, obviously, to everyone.
Did you call Sandy this morning and wish her a happy Mother's Day?
Oh, of course.
Sandy, of course, is Gary's wife, who's back home in Chicago. 2-0 pitch to Schaefer. Take it outside, 3-0. Schaefer's popped out to short today. Sarge, the Braves have stranded a lot of base runners through the first 3 innings.
Well, you got to like the way so far. I mean, Brett has been off his mark some, but he's making a point. I think not having the hitters going up there feeling so relaxed as if they're in a rocking chair hitting the ball. I don't agree with hitting anyone, but there's nothing wrong with moving their feet.
There's Kawakami after Jordan Schaefer walks for the 22nd time this year. Kawakami squares, and that ball kept on coming in, and he bunts it foul. And the count is 0-1. Is that what you're talking about? I think that one just got away a little bit.
I thought the ball to Escobar, it seemed like it hit the bat.
Yeah, it did.
I thought.
Yeah, it did. They're just going to check on Kawakami. That ball just hit the bat, but it might have shaken him up a little bit as he fell to the ground.
Well, your life actually just comes right before you when you see that ball coming at you. You have a tendency to almost close your eyes. Now, you want to try when that ball is coming, as it does. Now, you see him staying right there. You want to actually turn and get out of the way of it. But guys just feel so relaxed nowadays that they don't ever think a ball is going to come up and in. You think about a ball coming up and in, it makes you a little more hesitant toward that outside part of the plate to go and get that one. And the Brett's defense has been a little bit wild today, and wild up and in.
So no balls and 1 strike to count to Kawakami. Jordan Schaefer runs very well, and Myers is just trying to get an extra step back to the bag. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Nate McLeod, the sacrifice fly, has given the Pirates a 1-0 lead. Pirates have lost 7 straight going into today's game. And Kawakami bunts it toward Feliz, and his only play is to first. So the sacrifice is successful, and there's 1 away. Sarge, you were talking about pitching inside. I know as a player back in your era in the 70s and 80s, it was a common occurrence that pitchers would throw inside. But it seemed to be the late 80s, early 90s when pitchers stopped doing it as much. Am I wrong about that time?
Well, I would think it really would. I know my last year in '87, they were still doing it. Not near as much, but they were still doing it.
Kelly Johnson takes a pitch for a strike.
J.R. Richard, one of the pitchers that would come up and in and then throw balls on the outside part of the plate. But his ball was about 98. Again, a good day off of him. A couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts.
0-2 to Kelly Johnson. But, when did it really stop being accepted that pitchers would throw inside?
I think along with the same time as breaking up double plays. I think umpires stopped calling balls inside, and as you know, we used to slide and roll. Can't do that anymore.
Johnson hits one. A diving play by Ryan Howard. Tossed to first in time to get Kelly Johnson. What a turn of events for Ryan over the last year. Defensively, he has been arguably one of the best in the game over at first base.
No doubt about it, and really with a lot of confidence. Oh, those 25 pounds might have had something to go with that as he stretches out. That ball hit hard, top spin on it. But more importantly, he's been able to give good tosses. Now, knowing that he's going to grab a lot of those balls, pitchers seem to always be there for the throw coming from Ryan Howard.
Well, he saved a run right there.
No question.
And because of his defense, it's still a 1-1 game. Schaefer's on third. Escobar swinging at the first pitch. It's a pop-up into the sun on the right side. Utley and Howard. And it's Ryan, who's the bigger of the two, that makes the grab. And the inning is over. This is about Ryan Howard's defense. And how about this? He'll lead off the bottom of the fourth with the game tied at 1. Wise because of the defense of Ryan Howard, not only on the ground ball, but how about this?
Yeah, you can see there Utley saying, I got it, and it was up, and the wind really just blew that. Look at Utley giving Ryan a high five. Hey, thanks for staying with that, buddy. And the taller guy caught the ball.
I don't know, Sarge. You know, there's so much to talk about with Ryan. I know offensively, you know, he's got the 6 home runs. He's not among the league leaders yet. He will be by the end of the year, you figure. 22 RBIs, but his defense, and I wonder if everybody's noticing it around the league, but it has been an unbelievable turnaround defensively.
Well, no, he's been doing it since spring training, diving in the hole, catching the ball, and then coming up with a good toss to first base. That's only through hard work.
2-0 the count. Yeah, you mentioned it's been since spring training, but a lot of times in spring training you say, it's spring training.
Yeah, because of the different ways. Everybody's not playing maybe as hard as you would want to, but he took a lot of heat on his defense last year, and he's trying to improve, and guess what? He has.
It's that one toward Escobar, who's on the second base side of the diamond, a one-hopper. One away. Well, Friday, May 29th at 7:05, it's the start of a 3-game series between the Phillies and the Washington Nationals here at Citizens Bank Park. And that night, it's the Verizon Be a Fanatic About Reading Night, a free Fanatics Parade of Champions book for fans 14 and under. Sunday the 31st at 1:35, fans 14 and under receive the Chase Utley alternate batting helmet, compliments of Expedex. For tickets, you can log on to Phillies.com. Great giveaway item. And the alternate helmet is the one that the Phillies are wearing today. That blue with the red front, red brim. Ibanez popped out to Escobar his first time up. Ibanez to left field. Garrett Anderson started in. Now he's back, and they're 2 away. So Kawakami now has retired 7 consecutive batters since the RBI single by Pedro Feliz back in the second. Sarge is a hitter. What is he doing?
He's keeping those hitters off balance. They're fighting fields right now. You can tell a little bit on that off-speed pitch. He's been throwing fastballs in and then getting him to swing at off-speed pitches, and the balance has been a little bit off. One-hand swings, just not squaring it up the way they usually do.
delivers a fastball to Stairs. All right, as a hitter, how do you change that?
Well, again, if he's throwing strikes and you have two, you're trying to protect the plate off of him. I try and hit that ball and try and stay up the middle on him. When you get in that hitting count, it doesn't, not necessarily he's going to throw you that fastball.
That one's pulled toward the right side and through the hole. A base hit for Stairs. And it's just the third hit of the day for the Phillies. And Matt Stairs is aboard with 2 outs.
Well, that ball wasn't too far away from Johnson, but it shows you how hard Stairs hit that ground ball. Really got to take what he gives you there. Watch this ball here as it just slips right past Kelly as he tries to dive and get that ball.
Stairs' first hit of the series. Here's Pedro Feliz, who drove in the only run for the Phillies. And there's a good pitch to take a hack at, and he fouls it off, and it's 0-1.
He's been around the plate for the most part. That's the other thing that makes it difficult, because when he's around the plate, you're more apt to swing at the off-speed pitches, and especially with 2 strikes, just trying to protect.
Oh, he's ahead 0-2 now to Feliz, so he needs to go into protect mode.
Good pitch on the outside corner, fastball. Looked like it tailed right back. Had it in a good spot, and it was down.
On the outside corner, and it's a called strike 3, and the inning is over. 3 pitches against Pedro Feliz. He's retired. The Phils strand 1. Kawakame's allowed 1 through the first 4. Top of the 5th inning. Chipper Jones leads it off. Chipper's 0 for 1 today. He walked and he grounded out. Yesterday, after Chipper had a base hit, it stretched his hitting streak to 29 games against the Phillies. And we were told it was the longest streak since '54. And then after some research, we were told that it was the longest streak ever. But we've come to find out, as Chipper floats one down the left field line, of foul ball, that Fred Lindstrom, back in 1929 till 31 with the New York Giants. You remember Fred, Sarge? He hit in 30 straight games against the Phillies. He was a lifetime .311 hitter.
Larry was actually talking about that.
Did he face him as Jones is rung up for out number 1? So 1 away. So Chipper's down on strikes.
That's a long walk back. Now, again, look at him now. Very seldom you see him off balance there. That's an off balance swing. Okay. Now he goes, ow. Well, something's bothering him, obviously.
I wonder if it's his oblique, which is always bothering him, it seems.
Could be. And that's when it usually will hurt, is when you swing and miss. Off balance as well.
Chipper's had that oblique problem for the last few years. And, you know, there are nagging injuries that he sometimes plays through and sometimes bother him to the point where he needs to take a couple days off.
Well,
as Garrett Anderson takes one inside, it's 1-1.
First couple of swings, he was just kind of pecking at that fastball on the outside. He's usually a little bit more aggressive in swinging on balls because he can drive the ball out of the ballpark to left field.
Garrett Anderson rips one foul, and the count 1-2. Anderson's got a sacrifice fly today. That was back in the first. He singled in the third. And this should be an easy play for Chase Utley. Stay informed throughout the 2009 season with MLB.com team text alerts and video alerts. Customize your mobile alerts, including news, game summaries, scores, and more. Sign up now by texting Get Phillies to 65246 or visit MLB.com/mobile. 2 outs. Here's Brian McCann. He's got a base hit today, and he's also struck out. And Myers delivers pitch number 81 on the afternoon. And you see his pitch count per inning. The first is obviously the toughest with 25. But now he's going to get through the last 2 innings, which is 19 pitches, which has enabled him to last a little longer in this ball game. 4.5 in the books. Myers is settling down. Mark on a glorious Mother's Day, and as Shane said, we want to wish all the moms out there a very happy and healthy Mother's Day. I want to do the same to my mom Helene, who's home in Brick, New Jersey, and hoping she's having a great day. And you know, Sarge, Shane is going to be inducted into the Eagle Scout Hall of Fame this week. He was an Eagle Scout. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know he was an Eagle Scout, but I do know that he was in the Boy Scouts. I didn't know he was in the Eagle Scouts too, but I guess it's a
Boy Scout.
And
then you get your Eagle Scout badge when you're in the Boy Scouts.
Were you in the Boy Scouts?
I was for a very short period of time. Got to the tenderfoot and then walked away. There's Shane.
Tenderfoot?
Yeah, I think that was what it was called.
Okay.
There is Shane.
I was going to ask you about being able to start a fire.
I think that was the biggest problem. I could start them, I just couldn't put them out.
Well, as long as it's not in a forest, you're fine.
Carlos Ruiz struck out his first time up. Phillies and the Braves tied at 1. Yeah, Shane's going to be honored this week in Philadelphia, inducted into the Eagle Scout Hall of Fame. 1-1 the count to Carlos. 8-9-1 against Kenshin Kawakami, who came in with a 1-4 record and a 6.41 ERA. Over the last handful of years, and you can even go back to when Hideo Nomo came over, there have been a number of pitchers coming over from Japan and making their mark here in the major leagues. As that's a pop up near second base. Escobar shading his eyes from the sun. And Ruiz is retired for the first out. Kawakami, as we mentioned before, is the first Japanese-born player to play for the Atlanta Braves. Sarge, there's no question that the pitchers from Japan have their own distinct style.
No doubt about it.
When you were in the big leagues, there weren't any Japanese pitchers that you would face, but you would face them in All-Star games, wouldn't you?
Face them in the All-Star game in Japan. That's kind of bailing out of there. But it was more the hesitation that they would do, and it used to be even more so. As you can see, right in a little hesitation, but not so much as Brett may be anticipating a ball up and in.
Yeah, Nomo's hesitation was much longer, and his stretch was longer up above his head.
And he had a screwball. I mean, it's just, you really have to get used to that style of pitching for hitters to be able to hit that. So once you kind of get used to it and you understand the arm angles and where they're throwing, whether or not it's from the top or the bottom, it becomes easy. Or easier, I should say. Never really easy to hit, the baseball.
Well, over the next couple of years, there will be a few more players that will come over from Japan. There are a couple that are young right now and dominating the leagues in Japan, but they won't be available till after 10 years of service in the Japanese leagues.
That's interesting you would say that, and that's a way to really keep their league stronger when you don't take the younger stars. In the Negro leagues, they took the younger stars as opposed to the older ones, and the demise of the Negro League.
How about Brett Myers working out a one-out walk here in the bottom of the 5th inning? So he is aboard for now the top of the order. Brett ran the count to 3-2 his first time up and then struck out. This time he works out the walk.
He's been having really good at bats when he's up there. I thought that 3-2 pitch that he swung at was just way too hard. Don't want to take a chance on getting any type of oblique injuries. Cut down the swing a little bit.
Jimmy's 0 for 2 was hitless yesterday, and he pops one up down the left field line. That's pretty deep. Garrett Anderson's back at the warning track. That carried farther than I thought.
It's interesting. The winds are blowing kind of to the right. That ball carrying to the left. If the ball gets up high in the infield, it has a tendency to start to drift toward the right field type of line. J. Rowe kind of shaking his head like, man, what am I going to do? Well, you got to keep that ball out of the air for one and get more on top of the ball.
2 outs for Victorino. Shane's 0 for 2. He's popped out. He's grounded to second.
Hitter's got to be patient, make them pitch, make them throw you the strike that you want. Don't want to do a lot of first pitch swinging off of them.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Pirates have increased their lead to 2-0 over the Mets in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Livan Hernandez the start for the Mets in that one. As Victorino draws the walk, second walk of the inning issued by Kawakami. Bobby Cox and Roger McDowell looking on. Time now for our Firestone leaders. And the Phillies lead the league in home runs with 42. Right behind them now are the Milwaukee Brewers, who are right on the heels of the Cubs in the Central. Just a game back, they've won 7 of 10. And the Rockies, the Cubs, and the Cardinals. Firestone, a tradition of innovation. The Cubs have lost 2 straight to the Brewers, and that's why Milwaukee's climbed to within 1.
Yeah, and losing their best players. Best player, I should say, third baseman. Ramirez.
Chase Utley stands in, and Chase takes one below the knees for a ball. 5 in a row, excuse me, out of the strike zone by Kawakami, and it's 1-0.
Said that he's only going to be out for like 6 weeks. Dislocated shoulder. I dislocated my shoulder, and it was longer than 6 weeks. Let me tell you, every bit of a couple of months or so.
Yeah, Ramos Ramirez, the third baseman for the Cubs, 100 RBI guy. And that one's on the inside corner for strike 1. It's 1-1. Kawakami at 73 pitches now. And there are 2 outs here in the 5th. Little low, 2-1. So Utley's got a good spot here with a count 2-1 and 2 runners on.
Well, you want the ball up a little bit, not much higher than that, though. It's difficult to get on top of that high fastball that he's throwing right above the hands, maybe out of the zone.
There's Ryan Howard waiting on deck, hoping to get a chance against Kenshin Kawakami, the 33-year-old from Japan. 2-2.
Pretty good movement. That fastball right at 90 miles an hour. Hittable pitch.
In the dirt, scooped up by McCann, and then now it's 3-2. So Myers will be off from second base with 2 away. And Victorino will be off from first base. Victorino not being held on.
Yeah, have to be careful that if it is a base hit, that he's not going to catch Myers. But you're right, should be off and running.
Keep your eye on Chase Utley with a count 3-2. And Kawakami now will take a walk.
Now, normally this is when you would get a good pitch from a pitcher with Ryan Howard lurking in that on-deck circle.
Hard throwing Jeff Bennett in the bullpen for the Braves, loosening up. Kawakami is about to throw his 77th pitch of the day. Runners go. 3-2, swung on and missed. And the frustration by Utley as he tosses the bat forward, and the inning is over. Second time today he's gone down on strikes. Phillies strand 2, and we've played 5. Mother's Day here in Philadelphia and everywhere. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. And the Fanatic is about to present his mom, Phoebe, with a bouquet of flowers. And every mom knows out there you take the good and the bad when it comes to your children. And this is obviously the good from the Fanatic. And then you get a little bit of the bad from the Fanatic. Unintentional. As the Fanatic and Phoebe go for a little bit of a ride as they're exiting the ballpark. And wham.
Oh, wow. Mom's got to hold on.
Yeah. Well, again, happy Mother's Day as Casey Kochman leads it off here at the top of the 6th inning against Brett Myers, who has settled in and has retired the last 6 batters he's faced, and he's done so by throwing just 19 pitches. And Kochman greets him with a liner to right, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Stairs plays it nicely off the wall. Here's the throw to second base, and it's a one-hopper, not in time. 12th double of the season for Kochman. And he's in scoring position to start this 6th inning.
Well, you got to give credit there for Stairs. He gets that right off the wall and makes a good toss over to second base. That's been able to get in under the slide. J-Ro keeps that glove right there on him.
Now Jeff Francoeur is the batter, and he starts him off with a fastball, and it's swung on and missed. So the count is 0-1. I know I held my breath.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a cutter there. And again, sometimes balls that are 89 can be more effective than balls that are 95, especially if you're getting the movement. Balls that are 95 are more straight.
0-2 the count to Francoeur.
And that's the 4-seamer that I'm talking about. The 2-seamer, you won't throw as hard, but you'll get more movement on the ball. Well, it didn't look like he was trying to get him over, did it?
No, it didn't. And he's down on strikes. Nice grab by Ruiz to hang on. And there's one away. Francoeur is saying that ball hit the ground. And James Hoy is saying,
Okay, when you always get that really sharp break on the ball, you get hitters to kind of really swing over the ball. When it's a slow break, now look at that break, how high it was. It was up high and then coming down hard. Those are difficult balls to hit.
Well, it's a good thing for the Phillies, Sarge, but that was a terrible at bat by Francoeur, wasn't it?
He's going to try and get the RBI. It didn't even appear that he wanted to drive the ball to the opposite side.
Now, is that because the number 8 hitter is up next?
I mean, you still got to be able to do that, especially in this inning. I mean, this is what you do. You give yourself up to try and do that. After 2 strikes, you go for yourself, but up to that point, you want to try and drive the ball the other way, and guys can get over on a deep fly ball.
0-1 is a pop-up left side. Let's see what Jimmy does with this one. He's battled this wind in the sun all day, and he's done a good job all day. And there are 2 outs. Well, don't forget, Memorial Day is May 25th. It's the unofficial start of summer, and you could celebrate Memorial Day just like you're doing today. Here at Mother's Day, you can celebrate it here at the ballpark. And it's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night on the 25th when the Marlins come to town. Tuesday the 26th is also a 7:05 game. Now, Wednesday the 27th is sold out. That's the Phillies Shamrock Cap, compliments of Teva. That'll be free to all fans. But again, there are tickets for the first 2 games of that series. You can purchase them by logging on to Phillies.com. It's so easy to buy tickets, and I don't know, baseball games, but anything else by just getting on the internet. And here's Kawakami with 2 outs and a runner on second base. And he takes a curveball for a strike.
Hitting 300, so he does have a pretty good eye. That's a single in this game, hard single, center field.
Looks like he's staying away from that fastball, at least early in the count against Kawakami, because the Sarge said that's what he hit for his base hit back in the second inning.
Yeah, and it's okay to throw it, but again, you want it in a good spot. That pitch that Brett threw on the base hit was more out over the plate.
And he hits this one, a slow roller to J-Roll. Kawakami does not run that well, and the inning is over. So a leadoff double by Kochman is wasted. Brett Myers strands one. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's Ryan Howard, Raul Ibanez, and Matt Stairs to hit for the Phillies. Well, sold out crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. And you see the wind blowing from left to right. It's been that way the entire day, but it's been quite comfortable here at the ballpark in a 1-1 game.
A lot of moms at the ballpark today for Mother's Day.
Yep. And getting a chance to enjoy what has turned out to be another pitcher's duel. That's a great gift. Take your mom to the ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
Just gives you another person to fall asleep on. That's what it is, Sarge. There's Ryan Howard. Ryan doubled and scored the only run for the Phillies back in the second inning. He's also grounded out to shortstop. Phillies trying to get something going again against Kenshin Kawakami, who's pitching in the sixth inning. Last three starts for Kawakami, he hasn't gone more than 5 innings.
Well, they get up when they're facing the world champs, and that's exactly what happens with most of those pitchers, and they end up throwing pretty good games. More of a pride type of thing.
Well, over the last 3 games, he's allowed 8 hits, 7 hits. And today, he's allowed just 3 to the Phillies.
Yeah, need some more hits, walks, get some guys on base, see if he pitches the same way.
Well, there's a guy on base. Is Howard. Lines one toward the corner. Francoeur's going to cut it off. He's got a great arm, but he hesitated. And Howard's got his second double of the day.
Well, the good thing about that play, when Ryan hit that ball, he was digging for 2 all the way. When he saw that ball after it landed, he knows Francoeur has a great arm. He got over in good fashion, wasn't able to get a grip on that ball, consequently not able to throw it. Good breaking ball. Now he's digging right away to get to second base as he hits the corner of that bag and just hesitates a little bit as he drops down there. Clean double.
That's his 9th double of the year, second one in today's game, and he's in scoring position for Ibanez. Same spot as back in the second when the Phils scored their run. And Ibanez that time popped out to short.
Yeah, you can see that swing though. He was definitely trying to pull the ball. Usually when you're trying to pull the ball, the pitcher's going to throw the ball on the outside part of the plate. That time he was just trying to jam Ibanez. Pretty difficult to get into his kitchen. He usually looks for that heater in there.
It's that one the opposite way. It's pretty deep, but it's playable. Garrett Anderson is there, and that's not what Raul wanted to do. And there is one away here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Howard reigns at second.
He's not happy about himself with that at bat. He has a lot of pride. He probably a lot of times go right underneath, will look at the pitch and see exactly where it was and set up and then get mad at himself again.
Well, Kevin Camasholi, who's one of the Phillies video coordinators, is down under the stadium, and he's got this game pieced together, pitch by pitch, camera shot by camera shot. So the guys come right into his room and take a look at what's going on. Plus, he's got a pretty good sense of humor, too.
Oh, good slide.
When Sarge played, there was no video to look at any point, was there? It wasn't even at the end of your career, was there?
Well, I would go in with video Dan, and I wouldn't want to look at the bad stuff, only the good stuff. You know, you look at the good stuff, you get the positives from.
1-1 the count to Stairs.
But not until late. And just about every single club now, though, has video where you can break down hitters, break down pitchers, see the exact stuff they're throwing from the different angles, and it is quite fascinating.
Jack Tashner loosening up. Look at all the cameras that are at work today. 3 different networks are broadcasting this game as Stairs lines one of the gap in left center field, and the Phillies are going to have the lead. 2 hops to the wall, and Ryan Howard's going to score an RBI double for Matt Stairs, and it's 2-1 Phillies. Second hit of the day for Stairs.
That's driving the ball. A lot of times Charlie Manuel will put players in on hunches. Must have had a hunch on Mr. Stairs here as he drives the ball to right center. Boy, this guy is powerful, strong arms. He knows he can hit the ball out of the ballpark. That particular instance, trying to go the other way and staying on the ball. Good job.
Here's Pedro Feliz with another runner in scoring position. 5 hits now for the Phillies. Pedro takes a fastball for a strike. There's Ryan Howard. His 2 doubles today have produced 2 runs. He has scored both runs.
That's what's good about this attack. You'll have different guys contributing on a daily basis differently when they win.
Feliz late on that pitch, and it's 0-2.
In a way that's pretty good because you're just not counting on one individual. You know, when that first 2 hitters isn't working and hasn't been so far today, they're able to get other contributors to be able to win the ball game.
Well, Feliz down on strikes, and there's the second out of the inning. It would be nice to get that insurance run home from second base to take a 2-run lead into the top of the 7th inning. Raul Ibanez, who is upset with himself after he popped up to short earlier in the game and popped up to left here. Ryan Howard still wound up scoring.
Yeah, it makes him feel a little better, however, once Stairs drives the run in. The hurt doesn't hurt as much.
Phillies have got to get Carlos Ruiz going a little bit offensively.
I think he's going to get going. I really do. It's just, you know, he's coming off of not such a great year last year. He did hit at the end of the season, start driving the ball. Just needs to swing at more strikes. And then when you're hitting 8, they pitch around you a lot of times as if you're a 4th hitter because you have the pitcher coming up next. And especially with 2 outs, when you have a base open, they usually try and make you hit their best stuff. Again, because of that pitcher, and if they make a mistake and walk you, you have the pitcher coming up.
McCann blocks another one, and it's 2-1 to Carlos Ruiz. Stairs stays at second base. Breaking ball, that's in for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, there's my point there. Usually he'll get maybe that fastball. He throws him a breaking ball because if he misses, it doesn't really matter. He'll go 3-1. And again, with Brett Myers following behind him, doesn't want to give in and just give a good pitch or fastball there, middle in.
Again, that one off the glove of McCann. This time Stairs heads to third. He's there sliding. Second wild pitch of the game for Kawakami. And the count is full, 3-2. And Sarge, if Bobby Cox watches Kawakami lose Carlos Ruiz, does Charlie Manuel turn to a pinch hitter instead of having Brett Myers hit?
It depends on the pitches there. Now watch this pitch, and that ball there, you would want to have to be blocked, but he's off and running. Don't see that very often. A little pop-up slide by Stairs. You got to be going pretty fast, though, to do the pop-up slide. Other than that, you don't pop up.
There's ball 4. So Brett Myers is due up, but he's going to be called back. Greg Dobbs is going to be sent up as a pinch hitter. So Bobby Cox doesn't have anybody loosening up in his pen. So Myers' day is done. He'll leave with a 2-1 lead at least.
Quality start.
6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run.
Quality start.
And he battled the first 3 innings. He shredded 6 runners.
Let me just say this, that he set the tone of the game right away, coming in, up and in on Escobar, got his teammates' attention like, hey, he's ready to go. Both pitchers are throwing it, but look at that fastball that he throws there. Off speed there for Chipper Jones. Good breaking ball he's had tonight. Now just as tough there, breaking ball. He's been getting a lot of ball speed pitches. That was a pretty good one right there that he struck Chase Utley on.
Yeah, Kawakami has gotten Utley twice today. Roger McDowell out to the mound to talk to Ken Sheen as Eric O'Flaherty is up and loosening. He just started to loosen up for the Braves. So it's going to take him a little time to get himself stretched out.
You know, the good thing, too, what Charlie has done is that he's left Brett on a positive note for his next start. And again, coming in and on hitters, you could see how less aggressive those hitters were throughout this game. You know, those hitters think I might get one up and in. Trust me, they're not going to lean that head out over the plate the way that a lot of hitters were before.
Well, and as you said, there's nothing wrong with doing it. I mean, you're going to need to do it.
And I don't mean in hitting batters or hitting them in the head. Moving them off the plate will do the job.
So runners on first and third for Dobbs. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The outfield straight away, and the pitch is pulled right at Kochman. And the inning is over. So Dobbs hit it hard, but he's retired by Kochman. It's Matt Stairs who has the go-ahead RBI for the Phillies. This double scored Ryan Howard, and the Phillies take a 2-1 lead into the 7th.
mom. Boy, Phoebe took a fall there, huh?
Yeah, she sure did.
That one time. Hey, the wind's blowing in today, and you know when the wind blows in, it turns this ballpark into a little bit of a smaller ballpark to play in, as opposed to when it blows out and they fly out of here. 2-1 game right now, pitchers duel. Brett Myers did a great job through 6 innings, stranded a lot of Atlanta Braves, especially early in the game, hung in there, pitched inside really effectively today. See what Kawakami's line is, and no, not a whole lot of offense as the Phillies lead 2-1 and Stairs his go-ahead RBI. There's Jack Tashner. He will come in his 11th game of the year. First guy out of the bullpen for either team today. 2-1 Phillies, 7th inning. Back to you, Tommy.
All right, and Omar Infante is going to lead things off for Atlanta as he's going to pinch hit for Kelly Johnson. Johnson finished with a base hit and 2 official at-bats. But here's Infante, a .338 hitter on the year with a home run and 9 RBIs. And Bobby Cox uses him, or has used him lately, against left-handed pitching, both as a starter and off the bench. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike.
And he's really been effective as their leadoff guy, too, when he gets a chance to play. That had to be a little distracting.
Watching that white bag blow across the diamond.
I'm really surprised he didn't call timeout. There's a look at it right there. I mean, it's right in his eyesight, right here. And here comes the pitch from Tashner.
Like a tumbleweed going across the plains.
Yeah. Really, I think it'd been green going by. We wouldn't have noticed it as much. White bag going in front of you.
That's what Infante's done against lefties, a .357 batting average. And he hits one in the air to center field. Now the wind's going to take this one over toward the gap and keep it a little more shallow than it would normally be. And there's one away. Hey, these lucky fans are today's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. A little extra bonus for some of the moms in the crowd there. Get an extra gift. Here's Yunel Escobar. He's 0 for 2. Escobar was hit by a pitch, although not really his first time up. And then he's popped to center and popped to first.
But I think that was part of what we talked about earlier, that Brett was pitching inside early in the game and got their attention, moved some feet, and he didn't hit him. He hit his bat, but nobody noticed it for some reason. At least nobody in the Phillies did.
He wound up hitting 2 batters, but he also, when Kawakami was squaring the bunt for a sacrifice, came up and in on him.
Well, you don't know what's going on down there because we're up here. But one thing about it, when you see a guy pitch inside, he has a better chance to be effective. Use both sides of the plate.
1-2 the count. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Astros have taken a 3-0 lead over the Padres in the top of the 2nd inning. Miguel Tejada, a 2-run home run, only his 2nd home run of the year. Where is his power gone? Still playing some pretty good defense at shortstop. Phillies began play today a half a game back behind the New York Mets in the National League East and the Florida Marlins.
Josh Johnson pitched a really good game last night. So did Jorge De La Rosa of Colorado.
He struck out 12 in that ball game.
12. And Johnson was mowing them down too with that heavy sinker and slider.
3 balls, 2 strikes the count to Escobar. And on the hands, a looper toward the middle, and it's going to get past J-Roll. A base hit for Escobar. He takes a wide turn around first. And he's aboard with 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Phillies bullpen has been better of late, as we've talked about the last couple of days.
Well, he really jammed him here. Tashner threw a good pitch in on him, and give the hitter some credit there as Escobar just fought that thing off and found a good spot.
And now Chipper Jones. Chipper is hitless in 2 official at bats, and Jason Worth gets his pink bat ready. in case he's needed as a pinch hitter at some point later on. Tashner fires one high. It's 1-0.
And you could see Worth in this ball game if the Phillies continue to hold the lead. There's Chipper Jones not have much luck against Tashner. See Jason in the game to play defense in right field.
That one's hit in the air to right field. Should be an easy play for Stairs, and it is. And they're 2 away. Back to first goes Escobar. And Chipper is now 0 for 3. Still has that 29-game hitting streak against the Phillies.
And 0 for 8 off Tashner.
You know, I was looking at some numbers. Scott Fransky and I were looking at some numbers about hitting streaks against particular teams, and it's tough to find, you know, different records. You realize that Vladimir Guerrero had a 44-game hitting streak against the Texas Rangers.
That end this year?
I think it ended last year.
Last year, yeah. I know it was current. I mean, it was recent. That's amazing.
That's a lot of games.
He hasn't been in the American League that well. Yeah, I guess he has now. It just seems like he wasn't that long ago, but he's been over in the Angels for 4 or 5 years, I guess.
Garrett Anderson watched that hitting streak unfold as a teammate of Vladimir Guerrero, and he pulls one into right field, a base hit. Escobar is going to get to third, and with 2 outs, the Braves are going to have runners on first and third. As Tashner will face another left-hander, and Brian McCann.
Well, that's why Tashner's in the game with all these left-handed hitters coming up. They pinch hit for one of them in Kelly Johnson, but still with a chance to face another left-hander. And as you said, Tom, another one on deck.
Chad Durbin up and loosening in the pen for the Phillies. And that's if McCann gets on. Although, you know what? Kochman's in the on-deck circle, so it's not if McCann gets
so I mean,
on.
there's another left-handed hitter on deck, so you would think he has 2 more hitters here.
Right, so he's up for Francoeur if it gets that far.
Right.
McCann is 1 for 3 today. And Tashner a little low with that. It's 1-0.
Time to get this guy out in a key spot.
130 against lefties overall. Those numbers don't seem to matter much, though, when he's facing the Phillies. It's going to matter even less than you fall behind 2 balls and no strikes. The Braves have stranded 8 runners so far today, and Tashner's trying to make it an even 10. Charlie Manuel knows that Kochman, a left-hander, is due up next, so Tashner's going to have at least that one additional batter. Ball 4. Bases are now loaded as McCann draws the walk. So 3 base runners against Tashner in this inning. And Rich Doobie's going to head out to the mound to break up the action and chat a little bit with Jack Tashner.
I'll also remind him, you know, that, okay, you know, you didn't get McCann out there, but you still have 1 more shot at a left-handed hitter. This is your last guy. You know this. You got to get him out here and keep this game with the Phillies ahead by a run.
Well, we're getting to that point in the season where interleague play is right around the corner. In fact, it begins for the Phillies here at home on Tuesday, June 16th at 7:05 when the Toronto Blue Jays come to town. Wednesday the 17th is a Jackie Robinson salute and a Faith and Family celebration. And Thursday the 18th is a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. For tickets to that 3-game series, you can log on to Phillies.com. Home and home for the Phillies and the Jays this year. Phillies will head north of the border to Canada to take on Toronto. Also face the Yankees this year, the Red Sox, the Orioles. First pitch to Kochman. Tries to check his swing, but he goes around. And it's 0-1. Kochman doubled his last time up. He's hitless in 2 at-bats against Tashner, and it's 1-1. Crowd wanted that one. It was a little off the plate.
Yeah.
And Charlie thought it was a strike, too. At least he's whispering to James Hoy about it.
Well, it's outside, but you know, from the dugout, it's not high and it's not low.
Plus, Carlos Ruiz froze it a little bit too.
Yeah, he did a nice job with that.
That one hit toward the middle, and it's going to sneak through for a base hit, and the Braves are going to take the lead. A 2-run single for Casey Kochman, and it's 3-2 Atlanta.
That's another ball right off the end of the bat, but the walks are what killed him in this inning. Or the walk really hurts you in this inning. You know, granted, there's a jammer and then that ball off the end of the bat, but you know, Braves got the job done.
Well, that's going to be it for Jack Tashner. As Charlie Manuel's headed out to the mound, he's going to bring in the right-hander to face Jeff Francoeur. So Tashner faces 6 batters. The 6th did this.
There you see it. They're playing him to pull, and he just hits it right off the end of the bat and squirts it into center field, and it dies there, and they can easily score 2 on it.
So a 2-run single for Casey Kochman. Tashner's day is done. Chad Durbin, well, his day is just beginning for the Phillies as he looks to put a close to the 7th inning. Sixteenth ball game for Chad Durbin. Jeff Francoeur is the batter he'll face with 2 away, and there's a strike on the outside corner. Durbin on in relief of Jack Tashner, who's allowed 2 runs. Here are the numbers on Chad. 1-0 with a 3.86 ERA. He's really brought his numbers down the last few weeks. And the count is even 1-1. Francoeur is 0 for 3 today. He's grounded out twice and he's struck out. And he's 0 for 10 against Chad Durbin.
Phillies at the top of their order, and they're getting their left-hander O'Flaherty up in the bullpen for the 7th. Some managers like to turn the 2 switch hitters around, and then you have all those left-handed hitters today. So, you know, whether they get to the pitcher in this inning or not, Kawakami, they may just bring O'Flaherty into the game with the lead.
That one's hit in the air to left center field. Victorino is there. And the inning is over, but the Braves score 2 to take the lead on a 2-run single by Casey Kochman. As Wheel said, the top of the order is due up for the Phillies as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And Casey Kochman of the Braves will stretch with everybody. is answer. Come on, Fanatic, bring it on over here. Which Braves coach helped turn a triple play against the Phillies on July 15, 1978 in his second major league game? Wheels?
Glenn Hubbard.
Glenn Mother Hubbard. That's right. We only take Mother today, Wheels.
That's right. That was his nickname by some people.
There is Glenn Hubbard. And it was Jose Cardinal at bat. Greg Luzinski was on second. Richie Ebner was on first. And the triple play was Bob Horner to Glenn Hubbard to Dale Murphy.
Right.
So log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge. Stump the Fans. There you see the swing of Greg Luzinski. He's now swinging out the Bulls barbecue pit out in right field. Omar Infante is going to stay in the ball game for the Atlanta Braves. Eric O'Flaherty is going to be the new pitcher for Atlanta. So O'Flaherty comes in his 15th game. No wins, no losses, a 2.38 ERA. He has 1 walk and 5 strikeouts so far this season. And the other change for the Atlanta Braves, besides Omar Infante staying in the game and playing second base, Martin Prado has come on to play third base. Now, Chipper Jones, when he swung and missed at a pitch earlier in this game, he grimaced big time. And you wonder if he may have pulled something.
When he hit that fly ball to right field, too, last inning, he was very slow going back to the dugout. In fact, I think I remember him carrying his bat all the way back to the dugout. Gave you an indication something wasn't right. And throughout the last few seasons, Chipper's had some problems with those oblique, the side problems, and possibly he strained it again.
So O'Flaherty is on for Kenshin Kawakami, who is the pitcher of record on the winning side right now for the Braves, as Atlanta leads at 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And O'Flaherty's on to pitch this inning as he'll face Jimmy Rollins to start it off. Jimmy batting right-handed for the first time today. He's 0 for 3 left-handed. And his batting average is back under 200 at 198. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's Chipper earlier on the swing and the miss, and he grimaces there, and as he walks away from home plate. And as Wheel said, his last at bat on the fly out to right, he didn't even drop the bat. Kawakami walked 4 and struck out 6. Here's the Fanatics trying to entertain the crowd here on Mother's Day.
Phillies had base runners, just like the Braves did. One big clutch hit in this game. Well, Stairs had one, but especially that one last inning by Kochman, or the top of the inning with 2 outs. That's the difference in the game. But they've had their shots today.
Chase Utley has struck out twice today. He's in the hole after Victorino. And Victorino watches Rollins go down on strikes for out number 1. Jimmy's 0 for 4. You get the feeling right now with Jimmy the way you felt last year with Ryan Howard at this point in the year with his average.
Well, that was a changeup, too. He was way out in front of it. Probably looked like a high fastball out of O'Flaherty's hand when he started to go, and it was a changeup.
1 out. Here's Victorino. He's 0 for 2. The showed button takes the pitch for a strike. Phillies trail it by 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Shane is now 0 for 11 in this series. And he's out in front of a changeup, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Omir Santos with a 2-run single has given the Mets a 3-2 lead. The single came in the 4th. They're now in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Victorino rolls one to Escobar. 2 outs. Two away, and O'Flaherty now will face Chase Utley. The Braves have won 3 of the 5 games so far here at the ballpark.
The Phillies have not been to Atlanta yet, and last year they were 9-0 down there. Braves have better pitching this year, though.
And Bobby Cox needed some better pitching, and they went out and picked it up during the offseason. Chases ahead, 1-0.
They have a no doubles defense in the outfield. See how deep the outfielders are playing here in the 7th inning in a 1-run game.
Well, as Wheel said, this is the second trip in for the Braves. As you see what Utley's numbers are in the 7th inning or later, 381 since the 13th of April. Phillies don't go to Atlanta until the end of June.
Yeah.
And Utley hits one right at Escobar. He has plenty of time. He even goes to a knee, and Kochman applies the tag, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies here in the 7th inning. We head on to the 8th. It'll be the bottom of the order. Due up for the Braves. You every step of the way by AT&T, your world delivered, and by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. Now the Fanatic doing a little dancing on the dugout with the moms and also the kids in the crowd today. Who says your mama don't dance? Well, he can blend into any environment, can he?
A chameleon.
He is a chameleon. Well, it's a good day at the ballpark to enjoy not only the sun, cool temperatures, and a ball game. The only thing they haven't enjoyed is what the score is right now. The Braves lead it 3-2 as Jordan Schaefer leads it off.
Well, you're in a situation where the bullpen gave up the lead, but now it's up to the bullpen to keep this to 1 run. At home, you can do a lot of things in 1-run games late, things you can't necessarily do on the road.
0-2 the count now to Jordan Schaefer.
Ryan Howard looks like he just wants to catch the ball.
Yeah,
right
he
now,
does.
No matter where it is. He is picking it down there.
Well, we've seen, Casey Kochman, who's a very good first baseman, and Albert Pujols, who's a very good first baseman. I know we might be somewhat jaded because we see Ryan every day, but I can't imagine there's a first baseman playing better defense than him this year.
Really playing well down there.
He's covering the line at first.
Well, it's very important, too, because the Phillies have a contact staff. They don't have a lot of guys that strike out batters, so the ball's in play a lot. And Ryan not only fielding the ball well, but he's picking it out of the dirt on the infielders when the infielders make a low throw.
Good pitch by Durbin. There's out number 1 here at the top of the 8th inning. So with one away, it'll bring Martin Prado to the plate for the first time. Hey fans, you can pick a hot game like the Red Sox, the Mets, Friday Fireworks, or the Brad Lidge bobblehead, and then you can add 3 more of your choosing. It's all part of the Phillies Grand Slam 4-packs, which are available now. They're customized to your liking. You can order them at Phillies.com. Here's Prado batting for the first time, hitting .281 on the year, and Durbin's just out there throwing some strikes right now. 9 pitches, 6 strikes for Durbin since he took over for Tashner in the 7th inning.
I call pitchers. Durbin's trying to get comfortable with his delivery, and he thinks he's had some problems with that this year that caused him to throw a lot of spinning breaking balls and not be able to get pitches where he wants to get them. And you know, most guys, if they don't throw the ball where they have to throw it, will get hit in this league.
Well, that's exactly where Ruiz wanted it, and it's popped foul into the Hall of Fame club, and then this is yesterday. Ryan Howard racing Jordan Schaefer to the bag, and he decided to do a little Pete Rose into that bag. Prado, he was way out in front of that one, but he kept his hands back, and he's going to split the gap, and that's going to wind up being an extra base hit. And he's aboard with a 1-out double. And Durbin really fooled him on that pitch.
Well, the Braves in the last couple innings are just doing a good job of putting the ball into play and making something happen. It was a breaking ball, and it was down. It caught a little bit of the plate, I guess. You know, it's not a bad pitch. That was, you have to, you know, in that case, you have to give the hitter a little bit of credit.
1 out for Omar Infante now. Infante is batted 1 time today. He popped out to center in the 7th inning as a pinch hitter against Jack Tashner. Well, after today, the Phillies have an off day tomorrow. Then the Dodgers come in. They go outside the division for the 3-game series. Then they go down to Washington. They'll meet President Barack Obama on Friday, and then take on the Nationals for 4 games this weekend.
Yeah, the makeup doubleheader on Saturday, 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock. They're getting Gonzalez up in the bullpen right now. Whether he just wants to get started early, it's kind of, you know, normally closer doesn't get up till the 9th inning, but there he is. He's just kind of soft tossing out there, walking around.
He had a pretty easy day yesterday. He finished them off. I mean, he did give up a double, but that was it. Chopper to third. Nice backhanded play behind the bag by Feliz. After holding the runner, he gets the 2nd out. Now, speaking of the upcoming schedule, here's the next 4 series for the Phillies. And you see they hit the road. They've got 9 coming up on the road after this 3-game series against the Dodgers. Make it 10 because of the day-night doubleheader on Saturday. And they'll wind it down with a 3-game series at the new Yankee Stadium, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. 1 national game, and then 2 on MyPHL 17. Here's Yunel Escobar, and good pitch by Durbin, a curved ball, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Well, no real slouches on the schedule. Maybe the exception of that Washington series where the Nationals are 8 under 500. The Reds are 4 over 500. The Dodgers lead the West. The Yankees are 2 under 500, but you know, still.
They got A-Rod back.
The American League is just a different animal. Broken bat roller. Left side. Oh, look out. The bat goes into the stands. The out is recorded. And fortunately, the bat didn't hit anybody down the left field line. And Durbin strands a runner on second base. Middle of the 8th, Ryan Howard will lead things off for the Phillies. They've brought their closer in here in the 8th inning because the Phillies have all the left-handers due up. And Mike Gonzalez in his 16th game is 1-0 with a 3.55 ERA, and maybe he's not going to close this game out.
Right, that's what we're talking about between innings, Tom. That why would they bring him in here for 2 innings, except that you have all your left-handed hitters right now. So he wants this left-hander as opposed to O'Flaherty, does Bobby Cox. He didn't double switch, so that means Gonzalez would lead off the 9th inning. So he'd maybe be thinking about closing with Soriano today.
Could close with Soriano. I guess he could bring Bennett in, or even Moylan, one of those guys.
A right-hander, and figuring that this is an important part of the game here in the 8th inning to have a left-hander matched up against these left-handed hitters, and he wants this guy, Gonzalez, as opposed to O'Flaherty.
Well, Gonzalez is on to face Ryan Howard, Raul Ibanez, and Matt Stairs. Those are the scheduled hitters. And he delivers a fastball outside, 1-0. Howard in yesterday's game against Gonzalez grounded out to second, and he's 1 for 9 with a home run. And he hits one in the air to center field. Jordan Schaefer looked like he didn't see it right away. Now the wind takes it into the gap. Boy, that turned out to be a tougher play than it looked, and there's one away. In his career, in case Bobby Cox wants to do it, Gonzalez does have 10 2-inning stints out of the bullpen.
Right, he could still do it that way. It just seems like he's not doing it that way because he's going to let him hit to lead off the 9th. He would have double switched there, and unless he's just comfortable with Gonzalez pitching 2 innings and he doesn't have a double switch that he likes, that he thinks he can make him better with his defense with a lead.
Raul Ibanez 0 for 3 today, and 2 for 10 in the series.
Chipper Jones went out early, so they had to make a move in the infield that they wouldn't have made normally.
1-1 the count. Well, the Braves don't have an off day tomorrow. They head to New York, where they'll take on the Mets to start a 3-game series at Citi Field. A lot of the Phillies hitters have blossomed late in the game, including Ibanez, who's hitting .474 after the 7th inning.
Well, they have Kochman. You usually don't see the first baseman playing on the grass. Look at this, where he is. He's out there trying to take as much away from Ibanez as he can here in a 1-run game.
Ibanez sends it in the air, straight away center field. Schaefer is back. He has room. A step from the track, and they're 2 away. And on a different day, that may have been out of the yard.
Oh yeah. There've been a few today that were knocked down out towards left and center field on both teams. Looked like it was a fastball, and Ibanez likes that ball down like that. And Jordan Schaefer on the warning track.
5 in a row retired by the Braves bullpen. In fact, the bullpen has not allowed a run in the last 2 games.
Well, you know, they thought that was a strong point of their team when the season started, and then it turned out not to be. That game here where they walked in a bunch of runs, but it's starting to get better again.
1-0 to Stairs up high, 2-0. Roger McDowell knew a thing or two about how to use a bullpen and how to pitch out of the bullpen during his career with the Mets and the Phillies.
Well, they felt they had improved their pitching top to bottom, starters and bullpen. The bullpen improving by the guys' health, that they just got healthier, and the starters by the deals they made. There's the bullpen. Look at the difference in the first 11 games and the last 19. And that's when the Phillies saw them in the first 11, of course. And what a difference to what's happened here. And that's the way they thought it would be.
Stairs has the count full, 3-2. He jumped ahead 3-0. He just fought that one off. And he's Pepper in the Hall of Fame club, and it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Gonzalez keeps throwing mid-90s fastballs. This guy had the elbow surgery, and here he is. That's an emergency swing right there.
Ball 4. Stairs is aboard, and it means the right-hander Feliz gets a chance to bat. So Stairs has walked twice. He's got 2 hits. Like Bobby Cox just pointed out and said, "Yep, that's the guy." And Eric Brutlett's going to come on and pinch run for Matt Stairs. Pretty good day for Stairs. Get a chance to play for Jason Worth. Pedro 1 for 3. Drove home the first of the 2 runs for the Phillies. Back in the 2nd inning. And he hits the first pitch back behind home plate. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Ooh, took a little off it on the outside corner. It's 0-2.
Well, he's a fastball, breaking ball, changeup pitcher, and he loves to work fast too. You almost have to step out on Gonzalez, get him out of his routine.
There's Moylan up and loosening in the pen, so maybe that's what's going to happen in the 9th inning.
Yep.
Feliz chops it off the plate. Gonzalez has it, and the inning is over. So the Phillies do get a base runner with a 2-out walk, but they're retired here in the 8th. We've completed 8. Bobby Cox's team has a 1-run lead. Thirteenth game. He is 0-1 with an 8.49 ERA. So this is the 7th game he's been into this year. Make it the 8th game. I'm sorry. He's been in 7 already. The 8th game this year that he's into that's not a save situation. That's a lot.
Well, yeah, it's a lot because the Phillies don't have the lead a lot. You know, that's the bottom line of the whole thing. That's why he's in so many games in non-save situations. Now, some of those games, we probably look back and you think, well, maybe he came into a non-save in the 9th inning with the Phillies having the lead.
Right.
But others of these games are just to come in and get some work.
Well, he's facing Greg Norton, the pinch hitter. Norton will pinch hit here for Mike Gonzalez. So just as we thought, the lefty was on to pitch to the Phillies left-handers in the 8th inning, and now Bobby Cox has got a right-hander loosening up in the pen. It's Rafael Soriano.
Yep, that was a really interesting thing that Bobby Cox did there in the 8th inning. There's Soriano. You got to give him credit for that. You know, he brings his closer in because he wanted a left-hander on those left-handed hitters in a 1-run game, and he'll take his chance with a right-hander with more right-handed hitters.
And Norton works out a 4-pitch walk to start the top of the 9th inning.
Right back to the same thing again. We're got to keep this to 1 run.
There is Mike Gonzalez. You know, I remember Billy Wagner used to say that the 8th inning sometimes is as important, if not more important, than the 9th inning,
Sure.
depending on which guys you face.
Sure, that's why the setup guys are so big in Major League Baseball nowadays.
Garrett Anderson takes one for a strike. It's 0-1.
But in this case, he used his closer as a setup guy. See how it works out.
There's Ryan Matson, a setup guy that has closed for Brad Lidge while Lidge was nursing a sore knee. And Brad is still trying to find the command of his fastball, and I think today is somewhat evident of that with the pitches that he's thrown out of the strike zone to the first 2 hitters. Two and 1. Garrett Anderson today has a couple of singles. He had 3 official at bats, a run scored, a sacrifice fly. And it's 2-2.
Threw the slider there behind in the count. Thing about his slider, he can throw one for a strike, but his most effective slider is that one he throws out of the strike zone, and you really need the hitter to be behind in the count for that to be effective, because then they'll chase.
That's the difference a year makes. And at that point, he had not had a blown save, and that's a good pitch there. A slider, he had Anderson out in front. Jimmy Rollins is waiting. 1 away. Norton back to first.
Phillies in the 9th inning have Ruiz at the 8 hole, and then the pitcher spot, and then Jimmy Rollins, and they have Worth, Cairo, Coast available still on the bench.
Might be 1 or 2 pinch hitters there in that mix.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you would think about, you get your leadoff guy on, you want to have somebody to bunt him over too, because you're at home and you could play for a tie there. But first of all, you got to get out of this inning, keep it a 1-run game.
Brian McCann today is 1 for 3. Walked his last time up. And he takes a fastball belt high for strike 1. There's that slider ahead in the count, and it's 0-2. And now you figure he can come back with another slider here if he wants to.
Well, you saw the swing that Anderson had on that slider when he was behind in the count. It's a totally different at bat for hitters when Brad Lidge can get ahead with fastballs and then throw a slider. In this case, he's getting ahead with breaking balls. 1 fastball, 1 breaking ball. And McCann saw that paper blowing across, and he didn't want to hit with it.
No. That one's way up there. Looking toward the crowd. Howard gives it a look. The wind we have today, that one goes about 20 rows back.
Ryan Howard, sorry, for what I go over there. All he did was see that go up, and then he ran over and then took a look up, and it's, what, 15 rows back?
I mean, at least. So it remains no balls and 2 strikes. Well, you said he wants to feel the ball.
He does. He likes the leather right now.
Little looper towards center field. Rollins is there. And they're 2 away here in the top of the 9th inning. So Lidge needs to get 1 more out to set up a bottom of the 9th possible comeback for the Phillies. And now he'll have to face Casey Kochman, who right now has the go-ahead RBI in this ball game. Kochman, who has grounded out, he's popped out, but he's singled and doubled in his last 2 at bats. The single through the middle his last time up drove in 2.
Looking ahead possibly to Soriano in the 9th inning too. He's holding right-handed hitters to an 0.83 mark right now, and there's another reason why they've set it up this way.
1-1. I just got a report on Chipper Jones and the fact that he left this ball game. It's not his oblique, it's a sore right elbow. And he is day to day for Bobby Cox. Two balls and one strike to Casey Kochman. Phillies got 6 innings of solid pitching today from Myers. He allowed 5 hits and 1 run. Kochman sends it in the air to left center field. It's deep. On the run is Victorino. Back toward the wall, and it's off the wall. Victorino knocks it down. Rounding third. Heading for home is Norton. Here's the throw by Jimmy Rollins. It is off the glove of Ruiz, and he's safe at home. They had him at the plate, and Carlos just couldn't hold on. And it's 4-2 Atlanta.
Boy, Kochman has killed the Phillies. Big hits today. But that was an outstanding relay by Jimmy Rollins. We don't know, did that short hop him or not. The ball got there almost the same time as the runner, Norton. Now we'll be able to tell. Here it is. It's a slider. Now Victorino gets it quickly, gets it into Jimmy Rollins, and he makes a really strong throw. No, he caught it on the fly, didn't he?
Yeah, and he just snapped it out.
And the runner got there at the same. Yep. No, it's a little bit of a short. I don't know if he ever caught it. When you watch that replay, it looked like a little bit of a short hop, and he may have never had control of it.
Well, the exchange from Victorino to Rollins was as good as it could be after Victorino bobbled the ball out in the outfield. And Jimmy made a real quick turn to the plate. But again, the Braves score a run. They're leading at 4-2, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Francoeur.
Take another look. It's really hard to tell from that angle if he ever had control of it. See, he was discussed. Here, now here's another look.
Oh, it just kicked up a little bit of dust.
You see the chalk right there. So it was a little bit of a short hop, and he never really had it.
A looper toward right. Bruntlett makes the grab, and the inning is over. But the Braves get one more insurance run on an RBI double by Kochman, who has 3 hits in his last 3 at bats, and Atlanta leads it 4-2. Victory of the year for the Phillies. They trail at 4-2 as we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Phillies with 11 come from behind victories this year, and if they pull this one out, it would be number 12. This one, as you can see, is on our scroll up on top, has been back and forth the entire day. The Braves scored a run in the first, then an RBI single by Feliz tied it in the second. The Phillies took the lead in the 6th on a double by Matt Stairs, but that guy has been the difference maker. He has 3 RBIs. Casey Kochman does in the last 3 at bats for Atlanta. And as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, Rafael Soriano is on for his 15th game of the year. He is 0-0 with a 1.29 ERA, and he's allowed the opposition an .080 batting average from the right side of the plate. Brad Lidge, who allowed another run in the top of the 9th inning, and Rich Doobie discussing the outing, and they're discussing mechanics and a whole lot of other things as they watch Miguel Cairo pinch hit here to begin the bottom of the 9th inning. Cairo, 1 hit in 14 at bats overall. And that 1 hit did not come as a pinch hitter. It came as a starter against the St. Louis Cardinals. He has not faced Soriano until today, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2.
Soriano's basically 2 pitches: fastball, slider, another mid-90s guy with strikeout potential out of the pen.
Well, they got him from the Seattle Mariners a couple of years ago, thinking that he would help bolster the end of their bullpen. But he also has battled some injuries.
You watch him, he kind of comes from the third base side and slings the ball across his body. And another reason why he's probably pretty effective against right-handed hitters. There you see the opponent's batting averages, career against him. Marmol 160 and this guy 186.
You expect Francisco Rodriguez up there. He's at 188. A little wide with that one. Cairo just trying to get on base here. Jason Worth has come out in the on-deck circle. There's Jason. And he's going to pinch hit for the pitcher spot. Cairo is hitting for Carlos Ruiz. And Cairo stays alive. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. See what Soriano's done against the Phillies. The ERA is under 1 in 10 games. He saved only 3 games a year ago for Atlanta. And if he closes this one out, it would be his 3rd save already this year.
Yeah, well, as you said, he was hurt.
Opposite way. Francoeur on the run. Foul ball. Just foul. Well, though they're happy that they get a souvenir, I think they would much prefer to have had that ball kick up some chalk, have the souvenir, and have Cairo on second.
Yeah, ground rule double would have been nice for it. Well, Cairo just trying to hang in there now against Soriano, a strikeout pitcher with 2 strikes on him. He's throwing a lot of fastballs, and this guy can throw a pretty good slider when he has to.
Again to right field. This one short. Here comes Francoeur. He can't get it. And Cairo's going to hold up at first. Oh, that ball just went past everybody. And the Phillies have the tying run coming to the plate here in the 9th inning.
Boy, McCann really backed that up. Saved his buddy. That would have taken the double play out of him. Francoeur tried to throw behind Cairo there, and he picked off Kochman. Here it is. And then it hits his foot. It stays right behind him. Now he's got a great arm, and he fires this baby. Kochman has no shot. Here's another look at it. Gets by Kochman, and then McCann was there to back it up, or they'd had an extra base out of that.
Jason Worth, the batter. He'll bat for Brad Lidge. 0 for 3 lifetime against Soriano. And he takes a fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Try to get the perfect shot at Rafael Soriano. 0-2. Three pitches, and Jason Worth is down on strikes. 4th time that Soriano has gotten him on strikes in 4 career at bats. And there's 1 away.
Fastballs too. That was another 95. It's a supposed to be away. It's right down the middle and hittable for Jason, but he just swings over. That was not where Soriano wanted to throw that ball.
And that'll bring Jimmy Rollins to the plate. Hitless in 4 at-bats today. 1 for 13 in the series. And Jimmy pops it up. Schaefer was really deep at center. He's got a long run, but he's fast, and there are 2 away.
Yeah, they're in that no doubles defense out there in the outfield, but that thing was so high it was no problem. Jimmy just continues to struggle and hitting a lot of balls in the air too. There he is, going after a first ball fastball, and he uppercuts it. You know, just swing is just not there where he's driving pitches. He's under them.
Well, it leaves it for Shane Victorino. You know, Shane likes the fastball, and Soriano throws a lot of them. He starts the ball with a fastball. He rolls the opposite way, and this should be the ball game, and it is. The Atlanta Braves have come to Philadelphia for the 2nd time this year and have taken 2 of 3 as they win it today by a